they offer me 40 hours of community service. Is that still on the table?
Okay.
If I enter like an oral motion of dismissal based on constitutional grounds, are you standing on your constitutional oath?
That
Yeah,
may
it says automobile, horse, drawn wagon, or carriage. So
Okay. So
an
let's,
automobile is not necessarily a car if it's a household good.
but
I
all
mean,
of those things are not
an
true.
automobile was actually created before a driver's license was ever created.
All right, folks, buckle in for this one. Because what you're about to hear is pure sovereign citizen theater. We've got a man standing in front of the court, facing charges for driving on a suspended license, no valid tag, and failure to display his license. Basic, straightforward stuff, right? You'd think he'd either fight it at trial or take a plea. But no. This guy decides today is the perfect stage to lecture the judge about, get this, the constitutional right to travel. He starts off trying to play lawyer, asking if his 40 hours of community service deal is still on the table, as if this was some kind of yard sale negotiation. And the judge,
You hear me?
Yes, I
Okay.
hear you.
So you're before the court on 2019 CR 04954 for driving on a suspended or revoked license, no license, failure to display license, or failure to have license on person. I'm not sure, it cuts off, and no tag or expired or invalid tag. So that's on the first case. On the case from 2020 03114, you have a suspended or revoked license. You're represented by Lister and Holt on one of the cases, but not on the other. Did you want Lister and Holt to represent you, or did you want to represent yourself?
I represent myself.
On both cases?
Yes, ma'am. I have a quick question as far as law concern when it comes to driver's license.
Okay.
Okay, you're only allowed to have one driver's license, and I have an Alabama driver's license. So when I get pulled over, I actually show them my Alabama driver's license, and it's current. It's the most current, and so they make a determination if they should go off the Georgia driver's license or the Alabama driver's license. And when I present the Alabama driver's license, they let me go because my Alabama license is valid. And you're only allowed to have one. And I had Alabama license first. So
I
my
believe
Georgia
this sounds
driver's
like a not
license.
guilty.
Excuse
Okay.
me.
So, Mr. Resto, what Mr. Taylor is saying is this is something that you could prove at trial. If you present that information at trial, then that means you want to go to trial instead of taking a plea. I don't know what the recommendation is, and I don't
Well,
know.
the recommendation was, I've been dealing with this case for an awful long time now, so I
Yeah.
don't really want to go to trial. I just want to get it behind me. But I think that I remember the recommendation quite clear. They offered me 40 hours of community service. Is that still on the table?
Okay. No, Mr. Resto, it's more than that.
she tries to be patient, calmly explaining the real fines, the statutes, the consequences. But this man just keeps going. Then he pivots into full-blown sovereign citizen mode. He says things like, an automobile isn't really a car, it's a household good. The Constitution says I can travel without interference. Horses, wagons, automobiles, it's all the same. You can feel the courtroom's collective sigh. The prosecutor can barely keep a straight face. Even the judge, who's doing her best to stay professional, is clearly worn down by this nonsense.
I know it's more than that. So the basic fines and fees for driving on a suspended license is the first time in 5 years. If you get one, then you can enter a NOLO plea if you have a NOLO plea eligible to you, and then the fine is $500. But if you get a second one, the fine goes to $1,000. A third one, the fine goes to $1,500 and 10 days mandatory jail time. You have a second one, which means that you might be able to enter a NOLO to the first one, but then the second one is outstanding. So when you took a plea to the second one, that would definitely suspend your license. So that's what's on the table.
Okay, now if I enter like an oral motion of dismissal based on constitutional grounds, are you standing on your constitutional oath?
Okay,
Or
I'm not sure what that is. So I have taken an oath to uphold the Constitution and to make sure that I treat people as the law would direct me to do so. So,
Okay. Well, I asked this question previously when I was in your courtroom one day in regards to the right to travel under the 14th Amendment, stating that citizens do not need a permit to travel with a horse-drawn carriage, wagon, or automobile without interference by police. And I was on a public highway actually when I got pulled over. It was a
okay, so
highway.
that's not actually in the Constitution.
And I
So the
don't
right to
believe
travel, the right
automobiles
to
were
travel.
around when the 14th Amendment was ratified.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mr. Taylor.
I just wanted to point out to the court that automobiles hadn't been invented when the 14th Amendment was ratified. That
Yeah,
may have been a fact.
it says automobile, horse, drawn wagon, or carriage. So
Okay, so
an
Mr.
automobile is not necessarily a car if it's a household good. It's just a form of transportation. It doesn't matter if it's an automobile, horse, drawn wagon, or carriage, because it's still a form of transportation, and citizens have the right to travel without interference by police. So I don't even know how the police are even allowed to interfere with travel when I'm not using my vehicle for commerce,
Your Honor,
and
at
Hold
this
on, Mr.
particular
totally
Taylor.
point,
private household good.
Nonsense. And here's where I have to pause for a second. I'll be honest with you. If I were on that bench, I wouldn't have let this circus go on more than 30 seconds. Judges have the authority to shut it down, but this one keeps letting him ramble. Is she being too soft or just showing restraint? I'll let you decide. But let's be real. He's not arguing law. He's not even arguing facts. He's just stalling, twisting words, hoping somehow he can convince a courtroom that traffic laws don't apply to him. And the worst part? He actually believes it. And just when you think he's done, he pulls out the classic line. Are you standing on your constitutional oath? As if that's some magic phrase that's going to make the charges vanish.
So, Mr. Resto, if somebody drove 100 miles an hour into the back of your vehicle and killed your a family member, would you want the police to interfere?
That's a murder. I mean, that's if someone got killed.
But they're traveling. You can't interfere with somebody traveling.
No, I mean you can't. It's stating that a police just can't interfere with your traveling, like pulling you over for a traffic violation or a tag.
But you
You're
want
not.
them to
You can't.
interfere if
Now,
somebody.
if you murder somebody because of
Well, okay.
sovereign.
Say you don't murder them. Say you just hurt them. Say you just damaged the vehicle. You don't want the police to interfere.
No, that because that's when it almost becomes like an accident or a crime or whatnot. So the police can. That's not really an interference. An interference with your traveling, not an interference when two citizens engage in an accident. It's interfering with you just traveling. Now, police officers, as far as public servants, they have a duty to serve to the people. So if a car accident occurs, then of course public servants, as far as ambulance, as far as firemen, they will come to the scene just as a service. But for you to just interfere in my traveling is actually a violation of the Constitution.
Well, sir, the Constitution and the cases that have come out of the constitutional jurisprudence allow cities and states and municipal organizations to regulate travel for the benefit of the citizens. So they can put reasonable regulations on travel, meaning you can have a license. They can grant you the privilege of having a license to drive. They can regulate how your license is seen. If you don't have a license or if your license is suspended, they can intervene to take your license away or your privilege to drive away. It is a crime. You can be convicted of not driving under a proper license. So the government is allowed to intervene in a lot of ways with people traveling. So I'm not sure where this information comes from, but there's a lot of stuff on the internet about traveling and the 14th Amendment and horse and buggies and even maritime law. But
I
all
mean,
of those
an
things are not true.
automobile was actually created before a driver's license was ever created.
Folks, this is exactly why courtrooms get clogged up, people mistaking YouTube conspiracy theories for real legal arguments. But trust me, it gets worse, because what happens next shows exactly how far this man is willing to drag everyone down with him. So after dragging the court through his little right to travel seminar, the judge finally tries to pull him back to earth. She explains, again, that this isn't about wagons, horses, or constitutional theories. It's about him driving with no valid license and no valid tag. That's it, black and white. But this guy? He doubles down, he interrupts, he demands to know if the judge is acting under oath. He claims the law doesn't apply to him. And here's the kicker. He actually tells the judge she's
So people was actually operating their case pamphlets where people was actually operating vehicles before a driver's license ever became. That's actually, you guys are actually a conflict of interest, actually, as far as you being in cahoots with the DMV. That's a totally separate entity.
Okay,
And for
so
some reason,
Mr. Resto, do you want to resolve the case? Because it's not
I
going
want
to
to
be
resolve the
40
case.
hours
I,
of,
I disagree with the fine amount because it changed. I would
it,
pay I would make an offer like I can do $1,000, maybe 12-month probation. But
Mr. Resto,
$2,000, that's excessive.
Mr. Resto, we're not negotiating. Those are statutory fines, meaning they're written into the law. I can't even change them.
Can I make a counter offer to the state and say it's $1,000? That can I be?
No,
Because I did do
sir.
time in jail. If the state would see that
Well,
and count.
That's why I'm saying that you may want to speak with an attorney, because certain things that they can negotiate, I can't change the statute. I can't change what's written in it, but they can negotiate. And if the solicitor wants to give you credit for time in jail in lieu of the fine, those are things that they can do that I can't do.
Yeah. So I would ask to the district attorney, knowing that I did serve some days in jail, can you guys
Okay.
lower the fine and I just go ahead and end this
So,
case right now? I can do 1,000. I got $1,000 right now.
Mr.
And
Resto, so that's a conversation that you need to have with them directly without me being present, number one. Number two, the reason I keep saying you might want to go through your attorney is because they can explain to you what is already on the table and how that may or may not change, okay?
what's on the table now, man?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I would rather you have that conversation in a breakout room with the attorney who's assigned to your case and with the state, as opposed to here in the main room. One, because I have other cases that need to be addressed, and two, because that's not information I need to hear.
Okay, is it anything I can do to get this case resolved now? Because it's been lingering on.
I'm telling you what to do, but you're not listening, Mr. Reston. Mr. Resto,
I mean, today, like, I want to resolve this today.
I get that you want to resolve it today, and I'm telling you what to do, but you're not listening to me. I said you can go into a breakout room with your attorney, and the attorney and you can discuss what's already on the table. And then if your attorney wishes to speak with the state to clarify anything, they can do that too. But you're not going to get it resolved by going back and forth with me, because there's stuff I cannot do.
Okay. Just tell the state that I'll take their recommendation. I'll just pay the $2,000 if they can give me 12 months to pay it off. And if I pay it off early, if my probation can be terminated, that would be
circumventing his constitutional rights. That's when you see the judge's patience run out. She stops entertaining his nonsense and lays it flat. You are charged under Georgia law. If you want to fight the charges, request a trial. Otherwise, take the plea. Those are your choices. And boom, that's it. All the sovereign citizen jargon, the word games, the automobile versus motor vehicle circus, none of it mattered. The Constitution didn't save him. The right to travel didn't save him. At the end of the day, reality came crashing in. The man is left with two options: take the deal or go to trial. And of course, he still tries to argue, but by then, the courtroom energy is done with him. Everyone sees it. The performance is over. And here's the sad truth. Sovereign citizens always think they're making history in these moments. They think they're exposing the system, standing up for freedom, rewriting the law with their magic words. But in reality, they're just another defendant with a suspended license, wasting the court's time and making their situation worse. The judge showed more restraint than most would have. She gave him the rope, and he hung himself with it, proving once again that sovereign citizen logic doesn't hold up when the gavel comes down. Because in the end, the courtroom doesn't run on YouTube conspiracy theories, it runs on the law.